Have you ever walked out of a meeting and thought to yourself, why did no one listen to me? Or maybe you helped a friend move, stayed up late to finish someone else's work, and still ended up being the one forgotten, the one overlooked. Let me tell you a quick story. Emily is one of the kindest, most reliable people I know. She says yes to every request. She takes extra shifts, helps coworkers fix their mistakes, and she always brings cupcakes to the office on birthdays. But last year, when there was a chance to promote someone to team lead, it wasn't Emily. It was someone louder, flashier, less capable, but more noticeable. When we talked about it, Emily looked at me and said, I don't get it. I do everything right, and yet it's like I'm invisible. And here's the truth. People often don't value what's freely given. When you give too much without setting any boundaries, people start to assume your time, your kindness, even your silence are just part of the background. That doesn't mean you need to become cold or selfish, but it does mean you need to define your value and teach others how to treat you. Because if you don't, someone else will decide it for you. And often, that someone doesn't have your best interest at heart. So, if you've ever felt invisible, forgotten, or used, I want you to know this isn't the end of your story. Because now, let's talk about the two types of people scammers love the most and how you can avoid becoming one of them. Scammers don't waste time on everyone. They're smart. They target two specific types of people, and if you recognize yourself in either one, it's time to make a change. Let's talk about the first type, the dreamer, the one who wants to get rich right now, the one who believes in shortcuts to success and thinks that connections are the key to everything. These are the people who fall for the mastermind courses, the make 6 figures in 60 days programs, and the I made 1 million from my laptop webinars. And it's not because they're dumb. No, they're just hopeful. But in their hope, they forget to ask the most important question. Is this real or just really well marketed? Now, the second type is even more vulnerable. The struggler. Someone going through a tough time financially, emotionally, or mentally. When life feels like it's falling apart, any escape feels like a lifeline. And scammers know that. They show up like saviors kind, understanding, offering the perfect solution. But the moment you say yes, the trap closes. Here's what both of these people have in common. They make decisions based on emotion, not evidence. And in a world full of manipulation, emotion without caution is dangerous. If you find yourself dreaming of quick success, pause. If you're in a hard season, breathe, wait, and seek clarity before acting. Because now, I want to show you how to think like a detective and why that might just save your future. When you walk into a room full of people, do you try to blend in? Or do you scan the room first? That little detail says a lot. Scammers love people who are too trusting, people who believe everyone is kind and every smile is genuine. But in today's world, being too nice can cost you. Let me introduce you to Marcus. He's not the loudest guy in the room. He doesn't talk much, doesn't make bold promises, doesn't share his plans with everyone. But Marcus is sharp. He watches. He listens more than he speaks. And when someone tries to sell him a great opportunity, he doesn't jump in. He asks questions, lots of them. He's not suspicious because he's bitter. He's cautious because he knows how the world works. We need more people like Marcus. People who don't assume good intentions, they verify them. Think like a detective. Ask, what's in it for them? What are they not saying? If this is such a great deal, why are they offering it to me? It's not about being paranoid. It's about being prepared. Because next, we'll expose one of the most powerful manipulation tools of all, packaging, and how it fools even the smartest people. Have you ever bought something just because the box looked amazing? Maybe it was a fancy skincare product with gold trim and elegant writing, or a bottle of wine that just looked expensive. And then, when you used it, you realized it was just average. That's the power of packaging. But it doesn't just apply to products. It applies to people too. Let me tell you about Alex. He wore designer suits, drove a sleek black BMW, and always spoke with confidence. He told everyone he was a successful entrepreneur. He used words like scaling, capital injection, and private equity. People trusted him. They gave him money. Some even invested in his tech startup without seeing a single business plan. A year later, he disappeared along with hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because people didn't invest in his company. They invested in his image. Most people don't buy based on logic. They buy based on emotion. And packaging creates that emotional shortcut. So always look past the surface. Ask, what's behind the show? And remember, confidence can be faked. Substance cannot. Now let's talk about an even trickier deception. The lie that feels like the truth. Have you ever trusted someone not because of facts, but because they sounded sincere? Maybe it was a mentor, a salesperson, or even a friend. They told you just enough of the truth to make you feel safe, and then slipped in the lie when your guard was down. That's how the smartest liars operate. They don't tell big lies. They tell almost truths. Our brains love stories. So when someone blends truth and fiction skillfully, it feels real even if it's not. Don't trust stories just because they feel right. Trust data. Ask questions. And remember, the most dangerous lie is not the obvious one. It's the one wrapped in truth. Now, we'll look at how scammers build trust slowly, carefully, before they strike. Scammers rarely rush. They earn your trust first, then take everything when you least expect it. Sarah met a guy online. He was charming, polite, a little shy. They chatted for weeks. He never asked for anything. He just gave. Compliments, advice, support. One day, she mentioned having savings. He introduced her to a friend who could help her invest it. She tried a small amount, got a big return, then more and more, until everything was gone. It was all a script. The guy, the friend, the returns. They built trust, and then took it all. This is how manipulation works, not just in romance, but in business, fake charities, crypto scams. It begins with small wins until you stop questioning and start believing. So before you trust again, ask, what would I lose if I'm wrong? Because now, we'll explore something deeper. How lying is everywhere, and even you and I do it more than we think. Yes, everyone lies. The difference is why. Some lie to protect, others lie to control. Same sentence, different soul. Ask yourself, is this lie for comfort or for power? Because now, we shift from awareness to strategy. Let's learn the things con artists do right and use them for good. It may sound strange, but con artists are masterful at reading people. They understand emotion, timing, power dynamics. And here's what you should learn from them. Read people, not just words. Control the frame, don't always chase. Master timing, know when to speak, when to wait. Stay curious, always keep upgrading your awareness. When you apply these tools with integrity, you become someone people trust but can't manipulate. But first, you have to know this. Your weaknesses are their favorite target. Scammers don't break you, they find the cracks. Maybe you're lonely, insecure, tired of failing, so they offer you what you already crave. And you say yes, not because they're special, but because you were vulnerable. That's not shameful, that's human. But here's your shield. Ask yourself, where am I seeking validation? What pain am I trying to escape? The more honest your answers, the less control anyone has over you. Now, finally, let's talk about how you stop being the victim and become the strategist of your own life. Maybe you've been lied to. Maybe you've lost money, trust, or even confidence. But you are not broken. You are not foolish. You are human. And that's beautiful. True power doesn't come from fear. It comes from awareness. So slow down your yes. Ask better questions. Know yourself. Lead your life. You are the strategist, not the victim, not the audience, but the one writing your story. And if this video opens something in you, don't just watch, reflect, comment, share, because awareness shared becomes power multiplied.